If you've been researching living in Prince George, you've probably seen at least one comment saying something like, "Isn't the air quality terrible there?" That reputation goes back decades, and it's one of the biggest stigmas attached to Prince George. So if you're thinking about moving here with your family, and you're worried about health or day-to-day life, that concern is completely valid. In this video, I want to tackle that head on. We're going to talk honestly about where that reputation actually came from, how the air quality has improved significantly over the past couple of decades, the real on-the-ground nuance of living in an industrial city, and the experts who actually monitor and manage it, like the Prince George Air Quality Control Improvement Roundtable. By the end, you'll have a clear, fact-based picture to help you decide whether buying a home in Prince George feels comfortable for you and your family. So let's dive into the honest truth about Prince George's air quality. Let's start with the stigma. Historically, Prince George had a real air quality problem. Because of our geography, a valley setting that traps air, plus heavy industry and winter inversions, the city saw repeated episodes where particulate levels exceeded provincial objectives. That's where the old smelly mill town image comes from. If you talk to people who lived here in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of them will tell you there were days when the odor and the haze were impossible to ignore. So if you've heard that reputation from friends, family, or Reddit threads, you're not imagining it. It used to be a big issue. What we're really asking today is that still the day-to-day reality of living in Prince George? Here's the most important point right up front. According to the BC Ministry of Environment and long-term monitoring data, air quality management in Prince George has improved significantly over the past couple of decades. A provincial overview noted that while the city historically exceeded objectives for particulate matter, there have been major improvements thanks to coordinated efforts from the ministry and local airshed groups. Later reports looked at 10 to 12 years of data for pollutants like sulfur dioxide, ozone, and fine particulates, and found that overall air quality trends were moving in the right direction. Not perfect, but clearly improving over time. Today, if you check the Air Quality Health Index for Prince George, which is what most residents use day to day, you'll see a lot of days in the low risk 1 to 3 range, which Health Canada labels as ideal air quality for outdoor activities. So the big picture is this: the old reputation is not the full story anymore. Air quality has improved significantly compared to the worst years, and the city, the province, and the local partners are actively managing it. Now let's be transparent about the nuance. Prince George still is an industry town. We've got large forest facilities, industrial parks, rail, and trucking. Studies show that fine particulate emissions mainly come from permitted industry, residential wood burning, road dust, and vehicles, in roughly that order. So what does that actually mean for someone living in Prince George? In many residential hubs, places like College Heights and Heritage, and a lot of the suburban neighborhoods up on the hill, your day-to-day experience is often blue skies and clean-feeling air for most of the year. In some low-lying or industrial-adjacent pockets, you may notice odors of haze more often, especially under certain weather conditions. As the old saying goes, location matters. A home near industrial land or major transportation corridors will give you a different sensory experience than a home in a family neighborhood further from those sources. And like the rest of BC, wildfire smoke has become a seasonal factor some summers. Provincial and health reports point out that wildfire smoke is now one of the biggest drivers of short-term spikes in fine particulates across the province, not just in Prince George. So the reality is this: most days the air feels completely normal and the Air Quality Health Index sits in the low range. Certain locations and certain weather patterns can still make industrial activity more noticeable, and wildfire season can temporarily affect air quality right across BC. You don't just have to take my word for any of this. Let's talk about who is actually tracking and improving air quality here. The key player locally is the Prince George Air Improvement Roundtable, or PGAIR. It's a nonprofit that brings together members of the public, local government, provincial agencies, industry, and health and academic experts. Their job is to research, monitor, recommend, and implement air quality improvements and to help educate the community. They work alongside the BC Ministry of Environment, which brings the official monitoring stations and publishes long-term trend reports, and Northern Health, which issues health-based advisories when air quality temporarily dips. Over the years, this partnership has led to strong emissions control for major industrial sources, community education campaigns around wood smoking, idling, and backyard burning, and ongoing data collection and modeling so future development can factor air quality into the planning. So when I say the air quality has improved significantly, that's backed by decades of monitoring data and the work of a multi-stakeholder team, not just a local rumor. So if you're relocating to Prince George and weighing a move, should air quality be a concern? Yes, of course. Should it automatically be a deal breaker the way it might have been 20 years ago? No, of course not. Here's the realistic takeaway. Yes, Prince George has a history with air quality challenges, and it's still an industrial city. Yes, there are times you may notice odors or haze, especially closer to industrial zones or during specific weather patterns. But the data shows air quality management has improved significantly, and there's an entire framework in place. PGAIR, the province, and health authorities all monitoring and pushing things in the right direction. In other words, if you choose the right neighborhood, keep an eye on the Air Quality Health Index, and understand the seasonal realities, including wildfire smoke like the rest of BC, air quality usually doesn't have to be the thing that stops you from living in Prince George. I hope this deep dive gave you the straight, local insight you need to feel secure and supported in your next decision. If you found value here, please share this with a friend who's also considering a move, or tell me what Prince George topic I should tackle next. The easiest way to connect is to call, text, or email. All the details are on the screen. Make sure you tap that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.